Again, thank you very much everyone for participating, and thank you very much for coming and participating. And I hope you're all well and good, really good. And so again, we have a wonderful opportunity, even in this kind of midst of the big kind of crisis in a way that never happened in the history for a long time, and it's really happening now. All over the world, there's nothing partiality. It's just everywhere equal on partialities, and very difficult and troubles, so many levels, one after another. So we're doing the retreat, activating our spiritual energy and the inner qualities, our inner quality, goodness. That's what gracious teaching, Buddha Shakyamuni and Padma Samye Ling, all the great masters mention one after another as one voice. Not just they mentioning, but they achieve what they spoke. They stand firmly with what they say. It's not something, saying something and doing something different. No. They're utterly, exactly lined up with what they spoke and what they're doing and what they did. And therefore, principle is so absolutely beautiful. And that which is touching to our inner goodness, our qualities, our treasures. Many times we don't really touch to our qualities, our goodness, because of the distractions of the external, of the mundane world. We're always outside, kind of looking and searching. But this time we're having some good time to reflect of our inner qualities, reveal the goodness, which is loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom, all the Bodhicitta thought, thinking of all living beings. We're doing something really wonderful, beautiful, and we should always dedicate this, really wishing sincerely to benefit to all living beings. These all people who are going through so much troubles, who are sick, who are trying to help and support to those sickness persons who are staying what they call terminology, front lines. In a way, really the great bodhisattva activities so many people are doing all over the world, whether they have believed or not believed, but reflecting of their inner principal qualities and good things to out, reaching to benefit, support many ways, one after another. And we really wish what we are doing this, doing retreat, reflecting the teaching on the Buddhas, practice, meditating, and cultivating that attitude, thinking that to all, dedicating that for all benefits. This is our great kindness teacher. Buddha taught this, to benefit for all beings. The principal activity of the Bodhisattva is to benefit to the others. They are put all the others on the front than themselves. Others are the number one, they are the second. When you read the books of the Buddha teaching, and when we heard the teaching of those great masters, one after another, that's really true. That's what they did. Those great masters did and are doing and practicing it. So we're following their footsteps. And their footsteps, examples, our best capability in these kind of circumstances, in a way, brought that situation here. And therefore, what great Master Loma said, all the difficulty, troubles came that I met Dharma, and I'm thankful to those difficulties. And all the suffering, the sadness came, and I able to meet Dharma, and I'm thankful to the sufferings. And all those kind of spirits or negative spirits are again pushing me to the practices, and I got fulfillment, realization. I thank to those unhuman beings or those non-visible beings who did this. I mean, one after another, and one who was also encouraging me to practice, I got the realization. I thank for all those who are encouraging me. And therefore, I dedicated all this merit to all living beings for their realization and for their fulfillment, and remove the suffering and the difficulty to every living being. That's what great Master Loma said. Truly we're having this opportunity to activating that. These all these circumstances, So I'm really, again, I'm so thankful and so grateful all of you doing something beautiful, something really good for meaningful in our lives. I think in a way, we can remember this, what we're doing for a long time that we can reflect back what we did together as retreat, using the modern technologies into virtual reality or whatever the name is, but we are doing the practicing, meditating as one mandalas, one circle. And I'm so happy that we had these opportunities and let it be encouraged to each other and aspire to each other and extend our courage and commitment, confidence and both each other together. That is what known as the fulfilling the meaning of this very precious lives. So I'm so thankful. Okay, thank you. Today again I'll go to the to the teaching what we continue following with the teachings of the Dzogchen Rinpoche. As you all know, as I said so many times, this teaching is very essentially condensed and has his Holiness Rinpoche himself mentioned is heart instructions to the fortunate ones, or heart advice to the fortunate ones. So we are doing this. We are going over this. And how we are going this? We are going slowly by slowly, in a way, reflecting the teaching to the heart and the mind. What is in Buddhism that's known as studying and contemplating, and then meditating and practices. So really we are doing that a little bit, doing this a little bit more, spending time, and when this thing, this. And today again we are in this, on the sixth lines. And here I said the other day, there is like highlight the 3 points. 3 points. Said 3 jewels. 3 jewels are then 3 jewels, and they are infallible protectors, and then trustees. So those are the 3 highlighted kind of like points in these lines, and we're going kind of again, as I said many times, slowly, and going to kind of a little bit details. And again, I said what I'm talking is nothing new that you never heard. We all heard. You heard, I heard. We all heard. But this time what we're doing is a refreshing of our memories and reflecting so that we can activate that. That's really what we're doing together. So slowly by slowly. And now we're going to talk again these 3 jewels. Among the 3 jewels, these 3 jewels are Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I think that's what known as 3 jewels here. Here, translated how this. Trusting that the 3 jewels are the infallible source of refuge. So this is what in the teachings I said. Trusting is 1, 3 jewel is 1 point. Infallible source of refuge is 1, 3 point, as I said that. So, first of all, we're talking about the 3 jewels among that. This 3 point, we're talking, that's I'm kind of highlight that. And the 3 jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Other day, what is Buddha actually? What means simply to explain what is Buddha. And what in the teaching said, nature of the Buddha. Or one way may be the identity of the Buddha. Identity or the nature of the Buddha, simple we can tell, is one who will remove all the obscurations, anything that is a hindrance, completely removed and completely achieved all the realizations. That means there's nothing higher to gain, higher to go, or deeper to go, or more kind of vast to find. That everything is completed, attained. So one completely purified, one is completely achieved. That individually are known as Buddha. And then, as I said, there is many Buddhas. In the past, Buddha, present Buddhas, and future Buddhas will come. And there is also many Buddhas. Those are, we all know in the Vajra teaching. peaceful Buddhas, wrathful Buddhas. And those all Buddhas can be male Buddha, female Buddhas. There are many emanations of the Buddhas that we know. But nature is the same. One who achieved all the qualities and the good things, all the nature's offers, everything is completely achieved, and it removed all the hindrances, the obstacles. So that is really the what Buddha is. So that is a simple step. Then we went through those already quite a few, and so all those descriptions of the Buddhas, we went analyze of the Buddhas and how we did this. First we said that the kayas and the wisdoms and the beneficial activities we did kind of divided into three. Kayas are the best of the wisdoms and the best of the activities. And what that means, the wisdom and the kayas, activities are best on the kayas. In general, very simple way to tell, kind of roughly to tell that. That is how it is. So, what are those kayas? And I mentioned also, there is 4 kayas of Buddhas. We have went that last times, and of course you all know that the 4 kayas. And those are Sobhavakaya, Dharmakaya, Sambhokaya, and Nirmakayas. Those we went. And Nirmakaya can be divided furthermore. Supreme Nirmakayas, birth Nirmakayas, so emanation Nirmakayas maybe. Supreme Nirmakayas, emanation Nirmakayas, art Nirmakayas, and the variety or the varieties of the Nirmakayas. We went those. Now all that 4 kayas can also be summarized into 2 kayas. Often we all heard that, known as Dharmakaya and Rupakayas. Dharmakaya and Rupakayas. So these all 4 kayas, what I've been talking, is now summarized into 2 kayas. And that is Dharmakaya and Rupakayas. So how that is Sobhavakaya is concluded within the Dharmakaya. So Dharmakaya, when you say, sometimes always mention 3 kayas, or when sometimes 2 kayas. So Dharma, Sobhavakaya is within the Dharmakaya. So that is first, number 1 kaya. And the second kaya, Rupakaya, is, Rupa means, in the Sanskrit word, forms. So, if I, in English, translate it, poems, F-O-R-M, poem kayas. Poem kaya divided into 2, if we say. Poem kaya, that also means, immediately you have to understand, it has 2. Sambhokaya and Nirmakaya. And the variety of those kayas, emanation, all that in the poem, Rupakayas. Poem kaya or the Rupakaya. Now, so therefore, the all 4 kayas summarized within the 2 kayas. Kaya is like heap. Sanskrit, roughly Sanskrit word kaya, if we translated that into English, I think it's heap. H-E-A-P. Heap. Means what? Variety of the goodness are come together as one. Those one kaya. Poem is heap of the goodness. Heap of the goodness. All the heap of the goodness. All the, heap. So that is kaya. So that is 2 kayas. Dharmakaya and Rupakayas. And what is the Dharmakaya actually? in the teaching said, because when we are working for the enlightenment, when we develop the bodhicitta, always in the Buddha teaching mentioned fulfilling the dual purpose, or fulfilling the two purpose. Help to others, and when you help to the others, and you also will help to yourself. It naturally comes. For example, how to use examples. In the wind captain or the sailor sails the passengers in the ship or the boat, and the captain will take to the cross the river or the lake. Of course, captain is taking the passengers, but not just only passengers, captain, him or herself are also going to the other side of the shore. Naturally, it's benefits. It is therefore, it is win-win situation or the win-win news. Once you benefit to the others, then also you will naturally benefit. It's reflecting back. Whatever we do, it really reflects back. And that we can witness in the samsara. In the loving kindness and compassion, if we give someone, it brings peace and happiness to the others, but at the same time it brings peace and happiness to us, or the one who's giving. Same time, anger and jealous, hatred thoughts or resentment thoughts that if we do, it also makes others uncomfortable. Same time, individually, one who is initiating will get that happens. So this is the way they really thinks. And for that reason, great master, yogi, Mahasiddha, Drupa Konlek, very famous, one of the very great yogis of the Tibetan Buddhist history in the Drupa Kagyu orders or the Kagyu orders. He came to and his teaching said, and the master said too, he went to in the central Tibet, very famous, blessed cathedral of the Dudjom temple, Lord Buddha's temple. This Buddha is so famous for all Tibetans. Is like represent living Buddhas. Even many people, great masters, always mention that statue is blessed by Buddha Shakyamuni himself, 2,600 years ago. And that statue is installed in the central cathedral of the Lhasa, the capital of the Tibet. That is the focal point of the object of refuge and an object of pilgrimage sports. All the Tibetan Buddhisms, so many people come, and so many great masters, realizing beings, yogis, yoginis, great Tirthams, visited, pay homage to these statues. So Drupa Konlek also came and went there. And he said these words, you Buddha, you had the tremendous endeavor or the joyful effort. And therefore you become the Buddha because of your endeavor and joyful effort. You reach the enlightenment. And because of my laziness, I'm still in the samsara. So therefore, this laziness beings going to deposit you, the one who has the joyful effort. One who has joyful effort. I prostrate to you. So that's what really Drupa Konlek is. Spontaneously sing that song and pay the homage. According to the Tibetan words which talk that, it looks like he's kind of making jokes making. But that's true statement. Buddha, through his courage and commitment, endeavor, all the joyful effort for 3 countless eons, and helping benefit for all living beings without any discrimination, whoever needed, whoever need the situation, circumstance, he are there. He's the emanation. No matter whatever his lives are, whether it's a bird, whether it's like animals, whether it's a princess, or whether it's the gods, or humans, learned, unlearned, whatever, or turtles, he benefited to all the beings. That's what really his commitment, his joyful effort, reach enlightenment. Totally Buddha, become the Buddha. Buddha. And so therefore, Drupal said that's one who's really reaching the enlightenment. Therefore, I pay homage to you. So that is really because all this, when you do this, working for all the sentient beings, and therefore then Buddha reach enlightenment. Already, we sentient beings are still struggling in the samsara with our own creation of the dualities, activities. Really, all struggle. But Buddha reached enlightenment. So therefore, we've called fulfilling the true purpose or the dual purpose. So these two kayas, again going back to the two kayas, and this Dharma kaya is known as fulfilling the result of fulfilling one's own purpose. Therefore, Buddha achieved Dharma kaya. And fulfilling the purpose of others, even though Buddha reached enlightenment already, but still sentient beings are lingering and struggling in the samsara in different ways, and therefore to benefit to all these living beings until they reach enlightenment, until they become Buddha, these emanations are known as Rupakayas, the Sambhokaya and the Nirmakayas. And Sambhokayas are the one who's benefited from all the high realization beings, great bodhisattvas. Sambhokaya immediately communicating to benefiting to them, or those higher realization beings have the capability to contact to this great Sambhokaya Buddhas and disease teaching, such as Amitabha, Vajra Armor, Renna Sambhavas, and Vairocchanas, all the Buddhas, all the many other emanations, all many emanations of the five Dhyana Buddhas, of the five emanations of the five Dhyana Buddha. There is so many emanations, so they can contact that. For us, many of the sentient people who are struggling in the samsara, they have again Buddha emanated. This is second, then Rupakaya, one is Nirmakaya. And all those, as I listed the other day, and you all know, those four emanations. According to our capabilities, Buddhas are connected to those all beings, whether the Supreme Nirmakaya, or the emanation Nirmakaya, or the variety Nirmakaya, or art Nirmakaya, one way or the other, they are connecting to that and bring out their inner goodness qualities. Start with the joy, peace, happiness, and the love and kindness, compassion, and benefiting to the others according to their readiness, help to the others. So that is really known as Dharma or Rupa Kayas. So that is really about the Kayas now. That we talk now about again Kaya and the wisdom about the division of Buddha, Kaya, wisdom, and beneficial activities. I'm going to let it slowly and talking this to all of us in a way, reminding to you, in a way, let it be reminded to myself, so we can reflect and set the goal, what we're going to fulfill in our this lifetime, or whatever it takes time. We're going to discover this in nature. That is our destination, our that goals. Now, talk about really about the wisdoms. When you reach when you become the Buddha, you got the complete wisdoms. Wisdom. This wisdom is not just maybe many times we think wisdom is intelligence, but this wisdom is not just only the intelligence. It's loving kindness. It's compassion. It's a combination of that is known as wisdoms. Combination of love, combination of compassion, combination of the intelligence. All that is known as wisdoms. It's all blended in. And so that is wisdoms. How many wisdoms? There is, again, in a simple way to tell, the primordial wisdoms. One, primordial wisdoms. Or number, in the Tibet, is wisdom that knows everything. That is one way to explain. One wisdoms. Then if we divided a little further, two wisdoms. Wisdom that understanding perfectly, exactly as it of the absolute truth. And wisdom is that understanding exactly as it related truth. So two wisdom. Chetawan Chembiyishi, Chenyapa Zukuyishi. Two wisdoms. That is really the wisdom. True wisdom. One understanding perfectly, exactly, absolute truth, the nature, exactly as it is. Why? And one understanding exactly relative as it is. Why I'm talking exactly as it is? According to Buddha's teaching, wisdom that see the exactly as it is, that is the final, the knowledge that you have to develop. If we are making overstatement, understatement is not considering as wisdoms. It's misconceptions, misunderstanding. You see gold as gold, and what's called that name? Brass as brass, not mixed up. So white as white, simple way to tell, black as black, or yellow as yellow, not mixing up. Once you see that, that is then ultimate understanding of the on a relative level way things are. So that's what I'm talking, exactly as it is. Exactly, nothing higher state, nothing lower status. For that reason, Nagarjuna said, you spoke that among all the speakers, among all the teachers, you are the excellent speakers. Exactly truth. Not covering up, not making anything. Just say simple, plain, direct as it is. That is what the really gracious teacher Buddha is. Simple. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Negative is negative, positive is positives. Virtue is virtues, not virtues, not virtues. Or mixture is mixture. Exactly where things are explained. So, that is the wisdoms. Now, these wisdoms, if we can be a little bit more divided, larger explanation, and then this wisdom, we all know, heard, the five wisdoms. Those are the Dharma Dhatu wisdoms, and the marrow leg wisdoms, equanimity wisdoms, and then discrimination, awareness wisdoms, or the distinctly understanding awareness wisdoms, and all accomplishing wisdoms. Those are known as five wisdoms that you all know. Okay, so that's my talk for today, and then of course again we continue. Thank you very much for participating and listening, and again we do the short meditation talking. Thank you everyone.